Could you believe that that sound was created purely by AI? Well, actually, all of these were. Hi, I'm Thomas from News on Audio. Recently, 11 Labs released two very interesting tools, text-to-sound effects and video-to-sound effects. In this video, I will show you how I use these tools to generate the final soundscape for the clip you just saw, and give you tips to help you craft your own soundscapes for your videos. Let's start by importing the video into the video-to-sound effects app. Before I go deeper into the sounds themselves, what's quite impressive to me is that it does seem to have a general idea of what's actually going on in the scene, rather than just randomly generating car sounds, which I thought it would do. It starts with lower volume engine sounds, gets louder during the close-up, and quiets down in the distance shot. Some of the generations also include the tire screeching when the car starts drifting. In this clip, which has more action, it does actually generate 3 distinct hits that are in the video. If I use a scene that's longer than a few seconds, however, these specific sounds fall out of place. It seems to do really well with generating ambiances, as long as there is not a lot of action going on in the scene. Okay, so how is this actually useful? As you can probably hear, this isn't at the level yet where you could just drop your video and expect to get the final soundscape. I think for now, this tool is really good as a starting point for your sound design. Import your video, and rather than seeing the generated soundscape as the final result, you can use it as inspiration. It might create sounds that serve as the first layer of your soundscape, which you can then enhance by adding more sounds. This brings us to the next text-to-SFX tool, which can generate those extra sounds for building the final soundscape. Before diving into the AI tool itself, I will stop for a second on a technique called layering. Layering involves combining multiple sounds to create more complex and interesting sounds. It can take you from this to this. The reason this is so important here is that it allows us to use the AI-generated sounds to craft audio that specifically matches our scene. If you want more detailed insights into my approach to layering sounds, including which sounds to layer together and why, check out my previous video on sound design. The link is in the description. So let's look at the text-to-SFX AI to generate some car sounds we can layer. Okay, that's not quite what we want. There are 2 main ways I find you can really improve the quality of the sounds. First, be descriptive. We want a car that's going fast, and we also want to hear the sound of the engine to make it feel powerful. Let's try that. Much better. I'll get into the details on how exactly I structure the prompts later on. Second, adjusting the settings. I get the best results with the prompt influence at between 70 and 100%, and setting longer generation seems to give us more consistent results as well. That's the prompt and setting I used to generate most of the car sounds I used in the clip, along with a few variations. Let me play you each layer I used to create this impact sound, and the prompt I used to generate it. As you listen, you can probably start noticing a pattern in my prompts. First, I specify the type of sound I want. This could be a sports car, an impact, a footstep, or a whoosh. Then I describe how I want the sound to feel, such as fast and explosive or slow and rumbly. Finally, I add specific characteristics to refine the sound further, like perspective, pass by or close up, or particular elements I want to hear, such as engine that we used for the car scene. For example, if I type in footsteps on wood, calm and slow, and add creaky floor, it gives us a consistent and good sounding result. Understanding basic audio terms like attack, tail, tremolo, reverb, echoes, flanger, and many others can help you achieve the exact sound you're aiming for. Example of this is using the terms cinematic and designed to get that over-the-top sound design style. It can take an impact sound from this to this. It also reacts well to using terms like high-pitched and low-pitched. If you would like a free detailed guide with the descriptions and audio samples for these terms to reference when crafting your prompts, you can subscribe to our free mailing list and get the PDF guide sent directly to your email. The link is in the description. Good prompts and layering can get you cool sounding results, but how do you get them to actually match your given scene perfectly? Listen to these two layered sounds. Both of these were shortened and had a reverb and filter applied to them. If I left them as I got them from 11 Labs, it would sound like this. Traditional sound design techniques such as reversing, pitch shifting, and others are still extremely important if you want your videos to sound professional. I won't go into this in detail here, but if you're interested, you can check out my video on sound design tips that I've already mentioned. I will now run through the generation costs and the technical aspects of both of the tools. Starting with the text to sound effects, each generation costs 200 characters and gives you 4 results. The actual downloads don't cost anything, and if you adjust the settings to generate longer sounds, the generations will cost you slightly more. You get 10,000 free characters a month on 11 Labs with the option to upgrade based on their monthly plans. Currently, it can only produce MP3 files. These are great for general use due to their smaller file sizes, but they compress the audio, reducing its quality. They're still good to use for sound design. Just keep in mind that heavily altering them with audio effects might impact the sound quality due to the MP3 format. The video to sound effects seems to have no limits on usage or the number of generations at first. However, after a consistent use, you will receive a message requiring you to wait before generating more. There is no option to download only the audio, so you have to download the video and then extract the audio in your editing software. If you're interested in trying out the text to sound effect feature from 11 Labs, check out the link in the description below. By using this link to purchase a subscription, you will be supporting the channel at no extra cost to you, and I will really appreciate it. Let me know what you think about those tools and how you might use them in your projects. I thank you for watching. See you next time.